Hey everybody, what is up? It is your girl Bree K. Jones, Deaf Culture Merger. It is Sunday, so you already know that means it is Sign with Bree Sunday. Now, before I get into my short video, I just wanted to let you guys know if you are a little distracted by this dot here on my dress. Right before I made this video, I ate a piece of chocolate and I spilled the chocolate on me. So, if you're wondering, what is that dot? It was just for me being greedy, enjoying a piece of chocolate. It was a Ghirardelli with caramel in the middle, and it was delicious. Okay, so one of my Instagram followers, her name is XO Kirsch. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And she asked me a question, and she said, I know it's different in each community, but how can I get better involved in the deaf community? So I'm going to assume, since she asked that question, that she's hearing. So I just want to acknowledge and give a shout out to XO Kirsch. Thank you for asking me. As you mentioned, yes, it is different in each community, meaning it's different in each state. So for example, the same resources in California won't be the same resources, in Nebraska. Like, for example, since I'm a California resident, I know a lot of resources here in California. However, one of my Instagram followers was reaching out to me, and we had a nice little conversation, and she was telling me that the resource that I was giving her here in California, she's like, wow, we don't really have stuff like that out here in Nebraska. So I really struggle with how I can get hands-on and be hands-on with this community, because we don't have all of this that what California has. So there are some states that have a lot of resources, and then there are some states that have little to no resources. So for those states that have little to no resources, here is what I would say. If there is a local community college near you, or close enough where you're able to drive to that location, check the catalog to see if that community college offers American Sign Language. I know many community colleges here in California offer American Sign Language as a foreign language. And actually that's how a lot of hearing people get their jump start in learning how to sign and learning how to communicate through these classes in college. Of course, unless they're a CODA, CODA, which stands for a child of a deaf adult. So that's the first thing I would say. Look to see if there are any classes being offered in your local community college for American Sign Language. Because once, you're in those classes, those teachers and the people in that department, they have resources on different deaf events. And if you don't know what a deaf event is just a fancy term for deaf people coming together and spending time with one another and catching up. They'll do fun things like go to Starbucks, go to Roscoe's, go to talent shows or different things of that nature, and they all just meet up, catch up with one another. It's the same as if hearing people, we're going to go to Six Flags for the day to chill and have fun and just enjoy one another's company. That's what a deaf event is. So for being in those classes, you'll definitely get resources on how often this deaf event happens, where it happens, and that's usually how people start learning more about the deaf community and the different events that they do, by taking those classes at community colleges. If that doesn't work, because either you live too far or maybe that community college in your state doesn't have that, maybe something that might work is if your state has a school for the deaf, you want to go to that school of the deaf and be active, communicate with the people there, learn about different deaf events and how you can better be involved there. I know schools for the deaf are kind of scarce too. Like, for example, here in California, in this entire state, this is a big state, and in this entire state, there are only 4 schools for the deaf. 2 of those schools are residential schools, and 2 of those schools are regular day schools. And I just think that is so sad. So if you are somebody watching this and you're passionate about education, deaf education, hey, I say build some deaf schools. It's needed. We got 2 million schools, in one state for everybody. Deaf kids need school too, right? So yeah, those are the main 2 things that I would say. Find your local community college that offers that, and see if there's a school for the deaf in that community. If those 2 things don't work, I honestly would say begin learning little things that you can on the internet, like learning your alphabets, learning how to sign food signs and different things like that. I'm telling you, once you begin doing that, you will begin to notice like deaf people. It's just like when you go to, you go to the car lot and you see a car that you've never seen before, but then as soon as you buy that car, everybody and their mama got the same car that you bought. It's like, now all of a sudden everybody got this car. So I promise, like, once you start like learning things, my back was itching. Once you start learning things, little things on the internet, like, you will begin to notice different deaf people. And when you see those deaf people, go up to them. Don't go up to them and be like, hi, I'm learning sign, can I help you find corn, or can I help you find the Tupperware? Like, don't do that. Like, don't do that. Just introduce yourself, saying, hey, I'm learning sign, just wanted to introduce myself to you. Do you know of any deaf events that happen or anything like that? Just, a regular, normal conversation. So those are just a couple of things that I would say. If you live in a state where resources are kind of limited and you can't really like super get involved, those are the things that I would say to do to help you better get involved and gain greater knowledge about the deaf community. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a question or a topic that you want me to talk about, you can leave it in the comment section below and I will answer it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at bree.k.jones. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at hands4ears. That is the number 4, not FOR. Okay? I will see you guys next week. You guys have an amazing week. Bye.